During my first 8 hours in Ashfall, I've battled a giant Tyrannosaurus, tamed a giant guinea pig, fought against giant robots and ziplined over a small river. I am Dorian the Explorer and I ventured into the 33rd century in the upcoming MMO Ashfall, so join me while we explore this radiated world. But first, what is Ashfall? It's a PC and mobile third-person cover shooter with classic MMO elements like dungeons, PvP, character development, crafting and a battle pass. Oh, okay. Unlike most MMOs, you are the chosen one, destined to find a special MacGuffin to save the world, and if that sounds familiar to you, well, then you probably played other MMOs. Having dealt with the basic premise of the game, let's dive into my journey and first impressions. After a quick tutorial of the smooth controls and a missed dodge roll, the end boss of the tutorial quickly sent me to the character creator, which, to be honest, is vast and gave me the options to create the king of a pride parade. Or is it queen? With more sliders than the American food industry, we have insane freedom to create a character of our choice. Although the most important customization should be the back of the head, since you will look at it most of the time. After creating my colorful character, see what I did there? I was sent fixing a couple of issues in the vault, an underground shelter for surviving humans. This opened up the world map, which we can travel freely with instant levels and corridor-like areas to fight our way through. So let's take a look at the basic combat system. Equipped with 3 weapons ranging from the basic pistol to a machine gun all the way to sniper rifles, we take cover behind not completely bulletproof containers, barrels and walls, taking on far from intelligent NPCs. These enemies are armed with guns or melee weapons and have weak points like the head, or in some rare cases the head. The incoming and often telegraphed attacks can be avoided with a dodge roll, which doesn't stop our character from reloading. Talk about multitasking. Now back to my own journey. Killing bugs and other gunslinging humans qualified me as the new chosen one, a completely new concept in an MMO, which meant leaving the vault and finding the core of creation. This meant visiting new cities, interacting and helping NPCs, as well as some huge open world areas and my first dungeon. But more on that later. Being tasked with finding not only the MacGuffin, but also a missing person.
Have you seen this man?
I fought my way through caves filled with mutated bugs, fire-breathing lizards, and encountered my first boss. This heavily armed Tyrannosaurus, see, he is heavily armed because he has 4 arms, functioned as another tutorial fight, since a mark counter telegraphed a powerful incoming attack which required me to shoot specific areas to interrupt said attack. After taking down this boss, I ventured into an adventure zone which not only had a huge open world, but a gigantic guinea pig as well, which I tamed, resulting in the obtaining of a mount. With the reduced travel time, I battled through more enemies and found countless new equipment to wear, so let's take a look at the armor and crafting system. With many different slots, we are able to wear stats enhancing equipment with different attributes and buffs, as well as further along the line, chips we can implement into our character's head for better Bluetooth better stats and other effects. All types of equipment can be crafted as well as modified, resulting in powerful upgrades which make your character hold out longer against bigger swarms of enemies. But due to the game's easy difficulty, it is actually not necessary. Damn it! A couple more hours in, I explored most of the instant open world, leveled up quite often and reached the first 3-man dungeon. With a quickly working matchmaking, my group was filled, resulting in my first and only interaction with other players. So you might correctly question the MMO part of Ashfall. Is it truly an MMO? Well, it doesn't appear to have fishing in it, but the chat is mostly in Russian, so maybe? This dungeon saw us run through short and narrow corridors and reaching quite quickly the end boss. The mechanics were, as typical for every first MMO dungeon, far from complex, with dodging telegraphed attacks and shooting at its weak point, the head, as much as possible. Finishing the dungeon rewarded me with a new weapon and the finishing screen of who was the most valuable. Wait, it's not me? But I'm the chosen one. A couple more hours in and a couple more level ups later, it might be time to take a look at the character customization system. Apart from the valuable equipment we can find, we can also use obtained talent points to enhance our character's abilities. These can flat out increase our combat prowess with better stats, give us more backpack space, or short time buffs, like slow time and infinite bullets. After fighting countless enemies, take on various bosses and explore new biomes, I reached the 8-hour game time mark, leading me to reflect my first impressions of Ashfall. Apart from the weak AI, the sometimes clunky usage of the cover and dodge roll, binding on the same key, the combat itself is quite decent, but can become a bit repetitive and sometimes even dull, with some enemies and bosses being absolute bullet sponges requiring numerous mags to be emptied completely. The constant hunt for better equipment combined with the simple modifying system work great, as well as the impact you can feel when obtaining a better weapon. Talent 3 provides us useful upgrades but feels a bit lackluster in the presentation, which is a minor issue players might have. The biggest ones might be the mobile game typical mechanics, which we will cover in a future video. So subscribe to my channel, like this video, let me know your thoughts on Ashfall, and have a great day or evening.